Well, good morning and welcome to today's episode of The Word. I'm glad that you are with us today. Well, today is Trinity Sunday. Now, what does that mean? It is the day on which we celebrate the Trinity of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Three persons, one essence. Three individual persons of God, but yet one singular God. Three persons of God and three distinct primary modes of operation, but one God doing it all. For example, the Father's primary mode of operation is creation. The Son, who is also known as Jesus Christ, the only person of God who became a human being. His focus is redemption, buying us back from sin and death by his means of death and resurrection. And the Holy Spirit, the one is the giver of life. He is the one who sanctifies, makes us holy. He is the one who gives us this wonderful gift of life, not only to remember what God has done, but to live according to what God has done. And that means is through the Bible. You just received a very brief and probably worthy of a whole lot more conversation who the context of our God is. For now, for today, for this Sunday, our focus is going to be on the work of God through the work of the second person of the Trinity, Jesus. We will get into that in just a few moments in today's episode of The Word. Stick right with us. We will be right back. Where are you? You're all over the Well, the focus of the Trinity, that's our episode for today. And our episode for today works predominantly with the work of God through Jesus, through the Son of God. And it works into our lives. It is what has been called for hundreds of years the Great Commission. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's Matthew 28, starting at verse 16, going to the end of the chapter, end of the book of Matthew. And Jesus is saying to those who came, the remaining 11, Judas has already committed suicide because of what he did. Another day, another time video. But we have the remaining 11. They see Jesus on the mountain that he told them to go to in Galilee. Some were going, is this really Jesus? Perhaps. But that's not what we're going to focus on. That's another message also. But what he gave to his apostles, what he gave to the church, and at that moment in time, that was the entire church, those 11 men. He said to them, whenever and wherever you go, make disciples of all nations by means of baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and to teach them everything I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you until the end of the age. Teaching them, to obey everything I have commanded you. So our life is about grace. Our life is about service. Our life is about discipleship. Now, very briefly, what is a disciple? A disciple is a follower. An apprentice would be another word that would be close to what the meaning of disciple is. Someone who learns at the feet of his or her master, teacher, boss, for the lack of any better way of saying it. But an apprentice is one who learns by putting his or her hands to action. getting something done. And that's what a disciple is getting something done. And Jesus gave us, not only the 11, but the church as a whole. He gave us the means by which we are to make more disciples. We are disciples. Wouldn't you want to be a disciple too? Well, if you would like to be, and you're not yet, please comment. But a disciple is a person who first and foremost is baptized. Now, it's interesting, and I'm not going to dive deeply into this here and now, but it is interesting that he says, go and make disciples of all nations by baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and by teaching them to follow, obey, observe everything I've commanded you. All nations, every single person, man, woman, child, makes no difference how old or how young you may be. The gift of grace is the gift of holy baptism. We've gone over this on a couple of different occasions and a couple of different videos and a couple of different episodes of Random Thoughts, and also the Word for that matter. But the bottom line simply is this. We are to make disciples out of everybody. Baptism and teaching. Baptism and teaching. Baptism and teaching. You notice there's becoming a mantra here. That's exactly what it is. Baptism and teaching. Last week we went through a wonderful rite of confirmation for 3 young people. They were baptized. They were taught. Does that mean their teaching is complete? No, not in the least. The teaching to follow Jesus, the teaching to obey, to observe, is still ongoing and will always be ongoing no matter what age they reach. And they will continue to go forward in their lives. Today, we not only will be celebrating Holy Communion, we will be also celebrating the gift of baptism. Caden will be baptized today. And he will be given the gift of God, the gift of forgiveness, the gift of life. And that will be a wonderful thing. Now, he's being taught. He's being taught when Mommy and Daddy and bring him and his older brother to worship. He is going to be taught when he gets to a certain point in his life, when he can start to come to what we call Sunday school or our Sunday groups. He and his brother will continue to learn not only at the feet of our teachers, but also at the feet of his mom and dad. It's a great place to be a source of teaching, his mom and dad as well. But eventually they will continue to grow and then develop their faith, and they will get to a point, like what we did last week, where he will, along with his brother at some point, confirm the faith into which he was baptized. Teaching, baptizing and teaching, baptizing and teaching, baptizing and giving the gift of God, teaching to observe, to obey, teaching to act, to get your hands dirty in the ministry that is the life of a disciple. And one last thing today that I want to share with you. And lo, I am with you always until the very end of the age. I am with you. What a great promise that Jesus gives. I am with you. What a great backup that we have. I am with you. I will comfort you. I will guide you. I will strengthen you. I am with you, God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I am with you. There you go. All right, we'll see you later during our time of Sunday school, during our time of worship. See you in-house or live streaming. Have a great and wonderful day. We will see you on Thursday for the next episode of Random Thoughts. So have a great one. We'll see you. Bye-bye.